Picture this. A colossal flood swallows the earth, every city, every forest, every soul, gone in a heartbeat. Well, almost. One man, his family, and a massive wooden lifeline defy the chaos. You've heard of Noah's Ark, haven't you? That iconic tale of survival etched into the Bible and whispered across cultures? But hold on. What if it's more than a cozy Sunday school story? What if Noah's Ark conceals jaw-dropping secrets about towering giants, rogue angels, and, brace yourself, aliens from beyond the stars? Today, we're cracking open the Book of Enoch, an ancient text so wild it was banned by the church. This isn't just about a boat surviving the Great Flood, it's about the Nephilim. Those monstrous half-angel giants who shook the earth, and the Watchers. Fallen beings who might have been more than divine rebels. Could they be extraterrestrial visitors? We're not stopping there. We'll dig into CIA classified files. Yep, the spooks got involved, hiding evidence of Noah's Ark that could flip history upside down. From the shadowy Ararat Anomaly to whispers of alien tech, this journey's about to get seriously strange. Think the Great Flood was just God's wrath? What if it was a cosmic reset orchestrated by forces we can barely imagine? The Book of Enoch spills secrets most Bibles won't touch, tales of sky cities, glowing beings, and a mission that might have saved humanity, or seeded it anew. Stick with us, because these biblical mysteries are unraveling fast. And trust me, you won't believe where this trail leads. Ancient Aliens fans, history buffs, and mystery hunters, this one's for you. Oh, and before we dive deeper, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. We're unearthing mind-blowing stuff like this every week, and you don't want to miss the next big reveal. Ready to question everything you thought you knew about Noah's Ark? Let's go, the truth's waiting. And it's wilder than you can dream. Buckle up, because we're about to sail into one of the wildest tales ever told, Noah's Ark. You've probably heard this epic saga before, a story so legendary it's carved into the pages of the Bible, etched into the Quran, and echoed across more than 250 cultures worldwide. Picture it. A lone man named Noah, armed with nothing but faith and some serious carpentry skills, constructs a colossal boat to rescue his family and a menagerie of animals from a devastating flood unleashed by God himself. It's the ultimate survival story, right? A classic tale of divine wrath and redemption. But what if I told you there's a hidden layer to this ancient mystery, one that flips the script entirely? What if Noah's Ark isn't just about a holy man riding out the Great Flood, but a cosmic conspiracy involving giants, rogue angels, and, dare I say it, aliens? Let's dive into the Book of Enoch, an ancient text so mind-blowing it was scrubbed from most Bibles. This isn't your grandma's Sunday school lesson. The Book of Enoch spills secrets that'll make your jaw drop, secrets about the Nephilim. Those towering, terrifying giants born from a forbidden union between humans and celestial beings. These weren't just big guys with bad attitudes, they were a force of chaos, shaking the earth with their every step. Then there are the Watchers, rebellious angels sent to guide humanity but who went off the rails instead. They taught us forbidden knowledge, from crafting weapons to dabbling in the dark arts. And some say they didn't stop there. They got cozy with human women, sparking a lineage of monstrous hybrids. But here's where it gets really freaky. Enoch, Noah's great-grandfather, doesn't just preach about these events, he takes a trip. A glowing orb swoops down, and a being called Uriel whisks him off to a place he calls heaven. Only, it doesn't sound like puffy clouds and golden harps. Enoch describes a city in the sky, walls studded with gems, blinking lights, and beings bustling through mysterious gates. Sound familiar? To some, it screams, spaceship. Could this be the first whisper of ancient aliens meddling with humanity? So, who was Noah really? Was he just a humble boat builder picked by God to outlast the Great Flood? Or was he something far stranger? A chosen survivor in a story bigger than we've ever imagined? The Book of Enoch paints a picture that's less about divine miracles and more about a cosmic reset. The flood wasn't just a punishment, it was a cleanup operation, targeting the Nephilim and their Watcher parents, with humanity caught in the crossfire. And Noah? He might have been the key to rebooting it all. Born glowing like a star, speaking from day one, he wasn't your average baby. Some even whisper he was engineered, divine DNA or alien tech. Take your pick. The Bible keeps it simple. God told Noah to build the ark, load the animals, and ride out the storm. But the Book of Enoch? It's a roller coaster of biblical mysteries, hinting that Noah's mission might have been orchestrated by forces beyond our planet. This isn't just a story, it's a puzzle. Noah's Ark pops up everywhere, from Sumerian flood myths to Native American legends, all telling of a catastrophic deluge and a lone survivor. Was it a global event, like the melting ice caps at the end of the Younger Dryas? Or a local disaster blown out of proportion? Either way, the clues keep stacking up. Think about the Ararat Anomaly, those eerie CIA-classified photos of a boat-like shape on Mount Ararat. Why hide that? And what about the Durupinar Site? A structure matching the ark's dimensions down to the cubit? These aren't dusty old tales, they're breadcrumbs leading us somewhere wild. Were the Watchers extraterrestrial overseers? Did the Nephilim tower over us because of alien blood? And was Noah's Ark a lifeboat, or a spacecraft disguised as wood and pitch? If you're hooked on ancient mysteries like this, do me a solid and smash that like button. It seriously helps us keep digging into these mind-bending stories. We're just getting started, and trust me, the deeper we go, the weirder it gets. Was Noah a saint, a survivor, or a pawn in a galactic game? Let's unravel this together, because the truth behind Noah's Ark might just change everything you thought you knew. Let's step back in time and meet a guy who's anything but ordinary, Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah himself. You might think of prophets as bearded old men shouting warnings from hilltops. But in the Book of Enoch, this dude's on a whole different level. Picture this. It's a quiet night in his ancient village when suddenly, a low, eerie hum ripples through the air, not thunder, not wind, but a vibration you can feel in your bones. Then, out of nowhere, a dazzling orb of light drops from the sky, hovering just above the trees. A mysterious figure named Uriel steps out and says, "Enoch, you're coming with me." Where to? Heaven, apparently. But hold up, this isn't the fluffy, harp-strumming paradise you're imagining. Enoch paints a picture of a city in the sky, a jaw-dropping place with walls dripping in glittering gems, strange blinking lights, and beings strolling through what he calls the 12 gates. Does that sound like angels floating on clouds to you? Or does it scream something else? Like a spacecraft straight out of an ancient Aliens episode. Thousands of years before humans even dreamed of flight? Now, it gets crazier. Uriel doesn't just give Enoch a quick tour and send him home. He takes him on a cosmic road trip, showing off the universe like it's a galactic showroom. Stars twinkling in the void, planets spinning in perfect harmony. And get this, a precise 364-day Earth year. That's right, Enoch's jotting down astronomy lessons that no one in his time should have understood. How does a guy from the ancient world know this stuff? Was he tapping into divine wisdom? Or was he the first human to get a front row seat on an extraterrestrial ship? Some say the Book of Enoch isn't just a religious text. It's the oldest record of an alien abduction ever written. And here's the kicker. While the Bible barely gives Enoch a nod, just a passing mention as Noah's ancestor, the Dead Sea Scrolls unearthed 11 pristine copies of his story. 11. That's not some dusty footnote. That's a blockbuster hit in the ancient world. So why did it vanish from the mainstream? Let's dig into that. The Book of Enoch isn't your typical biblical mysteries tale. It's packed with wild ideas that might have made the church squirm. Imagine a priest flipping through pages about glowing orbs, sky cities, and celestial beings who sound more like watchers from another planet than winged messengers of God. Enoch doesn't stop at describing heaven as a spiritual hangout. He calls it a physical place, a destination you can visit and leave. That's heresy territory for some. Mortals aren't supposed to stroll through the divine VIP lounge. But Enoch did, and he wrote it all down, detailing a cosmos that feels more sci-fi than sacred. He's peering down at Earth's rivers, mapping the stars, and learning secrets no shepherd should know. Was he really chatting with God's crew? Or was he aboard a mothership getting a crash course in astrophysics? So why did this mind-bending text get buried? The church might have locked it away because it was too bizarre, too far outside the neat little box of faith they wanted to sell. Or maybe, just maybe, it hit too close to the truth. Think about it. If Enoch's heaven was a spacecraft, what does that say about the great flood that Noah survived? Could the Nephilim, those giant offspring of the Watchers, tie into this cosmic puzzle? The Book of Enoch links them all, hinting at a story way bigger than a boat and some rain. It's no wonder the Dead Sea Scrolls discovery sent shockwaves through history. Here was proof that Enoch's tale wasn't some lone scribble but a widely read saga. Revered by ancient minds. Yet, it stayed apocryphal, sidelined as not quite canon. Too weird? Too revealing? You decide. This is where it gets personal for us mystery lovers. Was Enoch a prophet, a time traveler, or humanity's first contact with ancient aliens? Did he glimpse a truth so wild it had to be hushed up? The Book of Enoch isn't just a dusty relic. It's a treasure map to questions we're still chasing today. Stick around as we connect these dots to Noah's Ark and beyond. Because this rabbit hole's about to go deep. Hold on to your hats, because the story's about to take a shadowy turn. In the Book of Enoch, we're introduced to a crew of 200 celestial heavyweights, angels known as the Watchers. These weren't your typical halo-wearing guardians. God, or some higher power, sent them down to Earth with a noble gig: guide humanity out of the Stone Age. At first, it's all good vibes. They're teaching us the secrets of farming, how to coax crops from the dirt, showing us medicine to heal our wounds, and even unveiling the wonders of astronomy. Mapping stars long before telescopes were a thing. Pretty awesome, right? Imagine these glowing figures as the ultimate life coaches, giving ancient humans a leg up. But here's where it goes off the rails. The Watchers didn't stick to the script. They turned rogue, and things got seriously twisted. Instead of playing nice, these rebel angels started spilling forbidden knowledge. They taught us how to forge weapons, swords and spears that turned neighbors into enemies. They revealed the dark arts, think witchcraft and alchemy, unleashing chaos on a world that wasn't ready. And then, the real shocker, they couldn't keep their hands off human women. Yep, the Watchers fell hard, hooking up with mortals and sparking a bloodline of freaky offspring, the Nephilim. These weren't just tall tales of big dudes. The Book of Enoch describes them as giants of insane strength and downright nastiness. Towering over villages, these hybrid monsters weren't here to make friends. Another ancient text, the Book of Giants, dug up alongside Enoch's writings, spills even more dirt. The Nephilim lost their minds. They went full-on savage, enslaving humans, terrorizing tribes, and when food ran low, chowing down on people like it was a buffet. The earth turned into a nightmare, a lawless mess where no one was safe. Enoch, watching this madness unfold, steps up like a cosmic whistleblower. He belts out a warning loud and clear: repent, folks, or God's wrath is coming for you. But did anyone listen? Nope. The Watchers kept strutting, the Nephilim kept rampaging, and humanity spiraled deeper into the abyss. It got so bad that someone, God, or maybe a higher authority, said, enough is enough. Time for a hard reset. Enter the Great Flood, a cataclysm so epic it's seared into legends worldwide. From Noah's Ark to ancient Sumerian tales, this wasn't just a random rainstorm, it was a deliberate wipeout. A tidal wave to drown the chaos and scrub the slate clean. The Nephilim? Washed away. The Watchers? Their party was over. But here's the twist that'll make your jaw drop. Noah, the guy we all know as the Ark building survivor, wasn't just some lucky farmer who dodged the deluge. The Book of Enoch drops a bombshell about Noah that'll keep you up at night. This wasn't your average baby born in a barn. Picture this. He comes into the world glowing like a lantern. His skin radiant as if lit from within. His hair? White as snow. And get this. He starts talking right out of the womb, babbling like he's got a mission brief to deliver. His dad, Lamech, freaks out, thinking, this kid's not mine. What's going on here? Enoch steps in from the heavens to calm him down, saying Noah's the real deal, chosen to outlast the Great Flood and reboot humanity. But how? Was he a divine miracle, handcrafted by God to carry the torch? Or, and here's where it gets wild, was he engineered? A product of alien DNA spliced into the human gene pool? Some ancient aliens theorists say the Watchers weren't just angels, they were extraterrestrials. And Noah might have been their final experiment, a hybrid built to survive the reset. This is where biblical mysteries collide with sci-fi chills. The flood wasn't just about wiping out sin. It was a targeted strike on the Nephilim and their Watcher overlords. With Noah as the ace up the sleeve, the Book of Giants backs it up, painting a world so corrupted it had to go. So, What's the deal with Noah's Ark? A wooden lifeboat or a vessel with a cosmic purpose? Was he saved by faith? Or was he handpicked by forces we can't fathom? I want to hear your take, divine intervention or alien tech. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this mystery's too big to unpack alone. Alright, here comes the big moment. The flood crashes in like a cosmic tidal wave, ready to rewrite the world. You've probably heard the classic version from Genesis. God taps Noah on the shoulder and says, "Hey, buddy, build me an ark, 300 cubits long. That's about 450 feet of sturdy timber." Noah gets to work, hammering away like the ultimate DIY champ. He packs up his family, rounds up a zoo's worth of animals, 2 of every kind, and rides out the Great Flood, emerging as the guy who kickstarts Civilization 2.0. It's the Noah's Ark story we all know. A tale of faith, survival, and a really big boat. But hold the phone, because the Book of Enoch throws a wild curveball into this flood narrative that'll make you question everything. According to Enoch, it wasn't God barking orders, it was Uriel, a celestial big shot, who handed Noah the blueprint. And get this, the flood wasn't just a random punishment for naughty humans. It was a precision strike, aimed square at the Watchers, those rogue angels who went off script, and their monstrous Nephilim kids, with humanity caught in the splash zone as collateral damage. So, was this great flood a global wipeout? Skeptics are quick to pump the brakes, saying, nah, it was just a local splash, nothing too crazy. They point to stuff like the Black Sea Deluge, a real event about 8.400 years ago when the Mediterranean busted through and drowned a freshwater lake, flooding 40.000 square miles. Big deal for the folks living there. Sure, but not exactly a planet soaker. Fair enough. Except flood myths keep popping up like ancient postcards from every corner of the globe. Sumeria's got its Epic of Gilgamesh, with a guy named Utnapishtim building a boat to outlast the deluge. India's got Manu, saved by a fish who spills the beans about an incoming flood. Even Aboriginal tales in Australia talk of a giant frog unleashing a world-drowning torrent. That's too many dots to call it coincidence. So, what's my take? Buckle up, because I'm betting on something massive, like a solar flare at the end of the Younger Dryas. That wild period when ice caps melted faster than a popsicle in a microwave, sending sea levels skyrocketing and flooding the planet. Survivors? They turned their soggy sagas into the stories we're still decoding today. But here's the kicker that'll twist your brain. What if Noah's Ark wasn't the only one? Yeah, you heard me. The Book of Enoch doesn't say it outright. But those flood myths, spanning continents, separated by oceans, hint at multiple lifeboats bobbing through the chaos. Maybe Noah was the headliner, the chosen one with Uriel's VIP pass. But other cultures had their own heroes, their own arks, battling the same great flood. Imagine it. A fleet of ancient survivors, each carrying the seeds of a new world. Was this a divine cleanup crew, washing away the Nephilim and their Watcher parents? Or, and this is where Ancient Aliens fans perk up, could it have been a cosmic intervention? A reset button pushed by beings from beyond the stars? The Younger Dryas flood fits the bill. Geologists see the scars of megafloods etched into the earth. High water marks on hillsides screaming, something huge happened here. A solar flare could have melted those ice caps overnight, turning coastlines into memories and giving us the flood that birthed Noah's legend. This isn't just about a boat surviving a storm. It's biblical mysteries meets blockbuster sci-fi. Was Noah handpicked by God to dodge the deluge? Or was he a pawn in a bigger game, guided by the Watcher's celestial cousins? The Black Sea Deluge might explain a local flood, but those global myths and Younger Dryas clues point to something way grander. Maybe the ark wasn't just wood and pitch. Maybe it carried a purpose we're only starting to unravel. So, what do you think? One ark or many? Divine wrath or alien reset? I'm dying to hear your theories. Drop them in the comments and let's crack this mystery wide open. Oh, and if you're hooked on flood tales like this, swing by our playlist linked below for more mind-bending theories to sink your teeth into. So, where's Noah's Ark chilling today? That's the million-dollar question. And the clues are as tantalizing as a treasure map. Genesis drops a juicy hint. After the Great Flood, the Ark touches down on the mountains of Ararat, a rugged stretch of peaks in modern-day Turkey. Fast forward to 1949. And things get spicy. The CIA, yep. Those cloak and dagger folks, snaps aerial photos of something weird up there. A barge-shaped shadow clinging to Mount Ararat. Dubbed the Ararat Anomaly. This wasn't just a blurry snapshot. It was intriguing enough that they slapped a classified label on it and locked it away for decades. Why the secrecy? Cold War espionage shenanigans? Keeping tabs on Soviet turf? Or were they hiding something way bigger, like proof of Noah's Ark that could shake up everything we know? That's the kind of mystery that keeps us biblical mysteries buffs up at night. But wait, there's more. Let's pivot to another hotspot, the Durupinar Site. Just a hop away from Mount Ararat. This thing's a stunner, 538 feet long. A size that lines up perfectly with an ancient Egyptian cubit. The kind Noah might have wielded back in the day. Picture this. Researchers tromp up there and start poking around. Unearthing iron rivets glinting in the dirt. Chunks of petrified wood that whisper of a long-lost vessel. And, hold your nose, fossilized animal dung that could have come straight from the Ark's livestock deck. The Turkish government took one look at this haul and said, "Yep, this is it, Noah's Ark. Right here." They've even turned it into a tourist spot, complete with a visitor center for flood fanatics like us. It's the kind of discovery that makes your heart race. Imagining Noah stepping off that boat to kickstart humanity all over again. But here's where the plot thickens like mud after a storm. Enter Ron Wyatt. The guy who hyped this find to the moon and back. He's the Indiana Jones of this tale, or so he wanted us to think. Wyatt claimed he'd cracked the case, waving around his evidence like a trophy, metal bits, wood scraps, the works. Problem is, the dude was a total fraud. Dig a little deeper, and it's clear his so-called proof was cooked up, faked to fool the faithful and rake in cash from wide-eyed believers. Ouch, that stings, especially when you're rooting for a biblical mysteries jackpot. But before you write off the Durupinar Site as a bust, let's hit pause, because even if Wyatt was a con artist, some of the stuff up there refuses to be dismissed so easily. Take the anchor stones, for instance, massive rocks with holes punched through. The kind ancient ships used to steady themselves in rough seas. They're scattered around the site, miles from any ocean, just sitting there like silent sentinels. How'd they get to a mountaintop? Then there's the ancient settlement nearby, crumbling stone foundations hinting at a village that might have sprung up post-flood. Maybe even Noah's first outpost. These aren't Wyatt's tall tales, they're real, tangible echoes of something epic. So, what's the deal? Is the Durupinar Site just a funky natural rock formation, sculpted by time and mud flows into a boat-like tease? Or could it actually be the real deal, the resting place of Noah's Ark? Preserved through millennia, waiting for us to connect the dots? This is where it gets fun for us mystery chasers. The Ararat Anomaly's CIA classified photos scream cover-up. Whether it's Cold War paranoia or a hush-hush nod to ancient aliens. Who knows? Meanwhile, the Durupinar Site's got enough legit quirks, those rivets, that wood, those stones, to keep the debate alive. Was Noah's Ark a wooden wonder that rode out the Great Flood? Or are we staring at a relic tied to the Nephilim and Watchers from the Book of Enoch? Maybe it's both. A vessel of faith with a cosmic twist. I'm torn, and I bet you are too. Natural fluke or flood survivor? Drop your vote in the comments. I'm dying to see where you land on this one. And if you're as obsessed with these clues as I am, stick around, we've got more mind benders coming your way. So, what's the real scoop behind Noah's Ark? Is it the ultimate miracle we've sung about in hymns? A divine lifeboat sailing through the Great Flood? Or could it be something wilder? Like an alien rescue mission orchestrated from the stars? Maybe it's just a campfire tale that got out of hand. Buckle up, because we're peeling back the layers of this ancient enigma. And the clues are piling up fast. The Book of Enoch, our go-to guide for biblical mysteries, drops some serious hints that make you wonder. It whispers of sky-bound visitors. Beings like the Watchers who might have been more than angels with halos. Were they extraterrestrial players meddling in human history? Then there's the flood itself, evidence of a global catastrophe that's hard to shrug off. Geologists point to the Younger Dryas, that crazy era when ice caps melted like butter in a hot skillet, sending oceans surging and swallowing coastlines whole. It's the kind of chaos that could have birthed the Noah's Ark legend, and flood myths echoing from Sumeria to South America back it up. And what about the Ark itself? Something's brewing up in Turkey. Whether it's stamped, classified, or not. Picture this. The Ararat Anomaly, those shadowy, barge-like shapes snapped by CIA spy planes, lurking on Mount Ararat's slopes. Decades of secrecy cloak those photos, sparking whispers of Cold War cover-ups or maybe something juicier tied to ancient aliens. Then there's the Durupinar Site, a boat-shaped oddity packing iron rivets and petrified wood, screaming, Noah's Ark, to some and weird rock to others. Fraudster Ron Wyatt might have muddied the waters with his fake finds, but those anchor stones and ancient settlements nearby? They're real, and they're begging us to dig deeper. Is this the resting place of the Ark that rode out the Great Flood? Or just nature playing a cosmic prank? The Book of Enoch leans into the weirdness, hinting that the flood wasn't just God's timeout for naughty humans. It was a targeted hit on the Nephilim. Those giant troublemakers, with humanity as the unlucky bystander. So, was Noah's survival a fluke, a miracle, or a carefully scripted save by forces beyond the clouds? Here's where it gets personal, and a little spooky. If God, or someone pulling strings from above, hit the reset button once, wiping out almost everything with the Great Flood, what's stopping it from happening again? The Book of Enoch paints a picture of a world so messed up it had to go. And Noah's glowing, talking at birth origin story only fuels the fire. Was he handpicked by divine will? Or engineered by ancient aliens to reboot the human race? Either way, it's a wake-up call. Maybe we should be a little nicer to each other, share a sandwich. Hold the door, just in case the powers that be are watching. Ready to scrub us off the board again. Imagine the stakes. A vengeful deity with a flood button. Or extraterrestrials with a cosmic cleanup crew. It's the kind of thought that sticks with you, right? This is why we love these mysteries. They're not just old stories. They're mirrors reflecting who we are and what might be coming. The flood evidence, those younger dry as scars etched into the earth, tells us something huge went down. The Book of Enoch spices it up with sky cities and celestial guides, while the Ararat Anomaly keeps us guessing about what's hiding in Turkey's peaks. So, what's your call? Was Noah's Ark a floating testament to faith? A high-tech lifeline from beyond? Or a myth that snowballed into legend? I'm torn, and I need your help to sort it out. Drop your take in the comments below. Because this puzzle's too big for one brain. Oh, and if you're hooked on unraveling biblical mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button. We're diving into more head-scratchers every week. And you won't want to miss what's next. Divine wrath or alien tech? Let's figure it out together.